Hello everyone. The topic for today's discussion is sorting. So I am going to discuss three functions here. First, sort function, second, sorted function, and third is operator module function. So let's start sort function. So sort function is applicable only for list data structure. So this is Python's inbuilt function which is built only for list data structure. It means you cannot apply this sorting method for dictionary, set or tuple data structures. And it accepts two arguments. First is key, second is reverse. So I'll talk about these two arguments very soon. And second thing is it is in place sorting. It means whenever you are going to use sort function over a list, it is not going to modify that list only. It is not going to generate a new list for you. All right. So this approach is efficient than the other method which is sorted, because it does not require the modification or the creation of a new list. So in that case, it is more efficient, but it is only applicable when you do not require the existing list. Then you can say you can go for this sort approach. Otherwise, the other approach is more convenient to use. All right. So let's talk about sorted function. So unlike your list, which is only applicable for, unlike your sort function, which is only applicable for list data structure, your sorted function is applicable for all the iterable. So your iterable can be a sequence, that can be your string, tuple, list, or it can be a collection like your set, dictionary, frozen set, etc. Right? And the other two operators are same, the key value and the reverse value. And first difference is it works for any iterable, and this sort works for only list data structure. Second is it is in place sorting mechanism, but this creates a new list. Okay, so every time you are going to apply sorted function, a new modified sorted iterable will be generated. Next, this reverse argument. So in by default, if you not give the third parameter, this is by default it is give false for you. False means whatever sorted list is going to be generated, it will be sorted in ascending order. Okay, but if you want the list in descending order, then you have to give reverse is equals to true. But by default it is set to false. So you need to understand that out of these three approaches, these three arguments, the last two arguments are optional. But the first one is, in this sorted function, this first argument is mandatory. Now let's take examples to understand these functions. So let me just clear the outputs and I'll again type the code to make this clear. All right. So let's say we have a list of items where the first item is ram, which is of string type, second item is a number which is of integer type, third is a real number which is of float type, and I want to apply sort function over this. So it is very much possible to apply sort on this list data structure, but if you are going to use something like this, you are going to get error. Why? Because internally your less than operator comes in picture and it is going to compare the objects one by one. So when it starts comparing string with integer, it will say that these two objects cannot be compared. So let's check the output. So this operator is not supported between instances of int and string. So it will give you error. The same thing is going to happen with sorted function as well. So let me comment out it and I use sorted. So how I can use sorted function? Inside sorted, I have to pass this list and the other two parameters are optional. So I'm not going to give these two parameters. That's it. And this sorted function returns a value. So let's say it returns a new list. And now I want to print this new list. Again, you get the error saying this less than operator is not supported between the instances of integer and string. Now in the second example, we are going to sort the objects on the basis of their length. So let's say we have a list named subjects and we have 4 subjects, C++, we have Python, we have let's say So now whatever task is, our task is to sort these objects on the basis of their length. So we know that length of C++ is 3 as it has 3 characters in it. Then we have Python whose length is 6, then 4 and so on. So what you have to do is you have to sort it according to this criteria. So I'm going to use, I can use this function, I can use sort function on this list because sort is applicable for list, and now I can use various parameters. So if I write key is equals to something, there comes your function. Okay, so I've already told you in key parameters there has to be a function. So if you go back to the definition, you'll see the value of key parameters should be a function that takes a single argument and returns a key. So you have written a function over here. Let's say I'm going to create my own function, my fun. All right, so this is my function name and I have to create this function somewhere using def. In Python we use def to create a function. So this is the name of my function which takes one argument. So I'm giving one argument over here. That will be my string object. And how I'm going to decide on what is the criteria? Length is the criteria. So if S is C++, so can I say length of S should be the criteria, and I return the value. So whenever this function is being called, I am going to return the length of every single object, and that particular length will become my parameter for sorting. Alright, so for C++ the length is 3, for Python length is 6, for Java length is 4 and so on. So if I sort this list like this and I print the existing list, because the values will now be modified. So you can see first we have to run this and now you see the difference. Now this list is already sorted. Alright. If I have to sort the list in reverse order, then you can use the other parameter called reverse. So by default it is false. It means the list is going to be sorted in the ascending order. So if I say reverse is equals to true, the opposite is going to happen. Alright. So now let's talk about the third example. So you are going to sort string objects in general. So if I take the same example and if I want to directly supply this sort function, okay, I'm not passing any parameter over here and directly do this and check out the answer by again printing this. So how the values are sorted now? Based on the Unicode value of these characters. So we know that Unicode values of A is less than C and the Unicode value of C is less than J, less than P and so on. Right? So in this way values are going to be sorted. So if you want to quickly check the Unicode values, you can use ordinal function in Python. So this function is going to tell you what are the Unicode values in these cases. So you can see 65, 67, 74 and 80. So this list is already sorted in the ascending order. So the same thing you can do, you can say reverse is equals to true. It is going to give me the reversed list. Alright, so in this way we can sort a particular list. So same thing you can do for sorted function as well, because in sorted function you can pass list as an iterable. Third is, now we have to sort on the basis of marks. Now let's take another example where we have let's say a list of list. Okay, so we'll be taking a nested list over here, and let's say this is my first student Ram, and the score of student Ram is, let's say, 78 in subject, and the roll number of Ram is 12. Similarly, we have another list and the name is Sham, his marks and his, let's say, roll number. And let's say we have another list and Sita, marks, and you can say roll number. Alright, now let's say you have to sort this entire list on the basis of marks. Now instead of, now I have 3 arguments, 1 2 3 1 2 3 and so on. I have to specifically sort the arguments, the values on the basis of this particular value, the middle value. So let's use this time let's use sorted method. So sorted inside sorted you can pass what iterable, that is your marks on which you can iterate over. Next is the key value. The key value is you have to write down over here, right? So I'm just skipping it as of now. Do you need a reverse parameter? No, because I want the sorted list in the ascending order. So this time what will be your key? So let's say I write my own function to define this key. So in order to create your own function, you have to write there my function, and it takes one argument. Let's say the first argument is your inner list. Let's say this is inner list, okay? And which argument from this inner list, which argument will become, or which element will become your key for comparing the values? That is your marks, and that marks is your middle element. So can I say return I of 1? I of 1 means the middle element from this list, and from this list also the middle element, that is I of 1, and the middle element from this list also. Alright, so if I do something like this and check the value, now see your sorted function is going to return a value, okay, and that will be your new list. And when you check the new list, you can see the list is now sorted based on the marks. So 45, 78 and 89. Sham, Ram, Sita. So using this approach, you can easily sort your list or any iterable using sorted function. Alright. Now in this case, instead of this writing your own function, creating your own function, you can easily use lambda function as well. So these are anonymous functions in Python. Even if you don't know the syntax, you can quickly look over here and it's very easy. So let's copy and paste the entire thing. I'm going to skip creation of this function. So instead of doing that, I can write lambda, that is the syntax. So it takes how many arguments? It takes one argument. So that argument you're going to write over here, and then there is a colon, and this return value you're going to write over here, I of 1, and that's it. So it is a nameless function. You don't have to create your function like this. It is going to be used over here. So directly one single statement is there, and you can easily write lambda, that is the key, and that is the keyword. I is your parameter which you are passing, and this is the return value. Alright, now let's check what happens. The same values you are getting. So it is a shortcut. So I hope this point is clear, and we can move on to the next part, right? And we can do the same thing for tuple and dictionaries as well. So let's understand one example of dictionary as well. Let's say I have a dictionary and I want to sort this dictionary, and we know that in dictionary we have key value pairs. Let's say Ram has a score 50, again Sham has scored 56, and let's say Sita has scored 44. Alright, and I want to sort this dictionary on the basis of keys. First, sort this dictionary on the basis of only keys. So which function do I have to use? Sort function or sorted function? Obviously sorted, because sort is only applicable for list data structure. So I'll say sorted, pass what? The iterable, that is D, and pass the key. I'm not passing any key because by default it is going to take this key as the you can say sorted key. All right, so if you do not pass anything, it is going to sort this dictionary on the basis of keys only. So if you simply write something like this and you check, this says invalid syntax because Ram 50, Sham 56, Sita 56, and this is your sorted. Need dictionary you are going to get, and okay, because this small character is coming over here, so you don't have to do it, and you don't have to write newly also, because by default this function is going to return a value. Ram, Sham, Sita. Okay, this has to be here. Alright. So Ram, Sham, Sita. Ram, R, then S, then SI. Okay, so we know that based on Unicode value, this string value is going to be sorted. What if you have to sort the values instead of keys? I want to sort this entire dictionary on the basis of marks scored by every student. So in that case, I'll have to use which keyword? I have to use the other parameter which is called key. So in key parameter, you have to pass on what basis you are going to sort your dictionary. So in that case, first of all, you'll have to use items function over this dictionary, because let me take this example first. So I hope you're aware of items function in dictionary. So let's check the output first. So d dot items, let's say I is equals to I d dot items, and then I print. So if you apply items function on this dictionary, you'll get a list of key value pair. The list of key value pair in form of tuple. So if I have to access the first value from the first tuple, then I'll say a of 0 or tuple of 0. Okay, 0 0, then tuple of 0 1, tuple of 1 0, tuple of 1 1, tuple of 2 0, tuple of 2 1. So in this way you are going to iterate over this list. Okay, list of tuples. So now if you have to, now again the same thing, if you have to sort the elements, you can pass D. In key, you'll have to pass what? On what basis you are going to sort the elements? On basis of the second argument. So this second argument will be your, using lambda function, I'm writing this. This is my entire first tuple, and from this first tuple I am going to retrieve the first value. Okay, so x of 0 means Ram, x of 1 means 50. Similarly, x of 0 means Sham, x of 1 means 56, and so on. So I am going to sort this entire dictionary on the basis of values. So now check the answer. So the dictionary is now sorted on the basis of values, right? So let me just new dictionary is equals to sorted the key and this one. Now I print new dictionary, so it will give me the sorted values, right? So instead of D, can I write D dot items? I. So if I give I over here, then you'll see the difference. You get the entire list of tuples. Alright. So if you give D directly over here, obviously the dictionary will be sorted based on the values. But if you want to see the entire dictionary like this, you have to give I as the iterable. Okay. So this I is what? List of tuples. So in this way, this is the best approach you can use while you are sorting a dictionary. So third and very important function is operator module functions. It's very simple. Since these functions have been used quite often, so the Python developers, they came up with a different approach to make it more, you can say much easier. So operator module functions, they are present in operator module, and from this module you can import item getter, attribute getter. So let me take one example to make this clear. So let's take the same example which I have taken earlier, and in this example, let's say I want to do the same thing. So use sorted method on this list of values, and this time your key, instead of writing what? Instead of writing that lambda function altogether, you have to just write what item you want to get. So this function is going to receive the index value. So if I say based on based on second index, I want to sort this entire list. So the list will be sorted, right? So item getter means 0. If you pass 0, it means the first index, 1 means the 78, and 2 means 12. So on the basis of this third object, I am going to iterate, I am going to sort my entire list. So if you check the answer, this is not defined because you have to run this cell. Now you see. So now the values are sorted on the basis of your roll numbers. Okay, 11, 12, 15. If I pass 1, it will be sorted on the basis of marks. So it's very easy to use. Instead of writing lambda function, you can directly import this from operator module, and you can pass on that particular index over there, and the work is done. Right? Similarly, you can go for attribute getter method. So in order to understand it, we have to take an example from the class. So if you do not understand the concept of classes and objects yet, you can just ignore this part. And if you know, if you're aware of classes and objects in Python, then you can go ahead with this example. All right. Let's say I've created one student class and I have three attributes I've defined: name, marks, and age. All right. So this way I am what? Initializing the values. And now I'm saying I'm creating three objects, three students, Ram, Sham, and Sita. And the marks I am passing and the age I am passing in the third attribute. So based on the attributes, I want to now sort these objects. So I can directly use this approach. So first of all, I want to sort what? I want to sort an iterable. This iterable is my student object this time. What will be my key? The key will be my attribute getter. So based on a particular attribute, I am going to sort the value. So instead of passing 0, 1, these index values, you have to pass the attribute name. So if I say based on marks, I am going to sort the value, then you see the answer. So first run this cell and now run this cell. So based on marks now, objects are now sorted. So in this way, you can make use of attribute getter, or you can say item getter functions from the module operator. So if I pass what age instead of marks, you'll get what the values are now what sorted on the basis of age operator or age attribute, you can say, right? So I hope this part is clear. So if you like the video, please like, share, and subscribe, and please press the bell icon for the notification of videos as well. Thank you so much.